Have you ever consumed a huge portion of food and wondered where all went? Maybe even wondered about the worth of each organ so you know which ones to sell and which ones you shouldn't? The world is a fascinating place, starting right from our very own bodies. The digestive system starts off with ingestion right from your mouth. Yes, I know, big shocker right there, right? You must ingest something before your body can do its magic.
Your teeth and saliva play an important role. The teeth does all the mechanical digestion. It breaks food apart so saliva can be easily mixed in and swallowed. But what makes saliva so special? I'm talking about the very mundane substance that chokes you whenever you're laughing too hard. It's special in a way that it contains amylase enzymes that break down starch, commencing the beginnings of carbohydrate digestion.
From there, the bolus of mucus-laden food is swallowed and run through the pharynx, where the flap of the epiglottis covers the trachea, preventing food from getting into your windpipe. Next, it goes through a smooth muscular tube called the esophagus, with the help of peristalsis. If the bolus gets stuck at this point, the bolus may or may not block your esophagus and kill you, depending on the circumstance.
The bolus enters through the stomach by the cardiac sphincter, which protects the esophagus from getting sprayed by gastric juice. Your body can potentially be your own enemy. In the stomach, there are little foldings called rugae that contain gastric glands, which secrete these so-called gastric juices. A mucus layer protects the stomach lining from getting digested. Just the pure acidity of gastric juice is enough to eat you alive. Without the mucus, ulcers are formed. And let me tell you this, they are not fun to deal with.
A hormone called gastrin is secreted when food enters your stomach and travels to the gastric glands via the bloodstream to begin the process of chemical digestion. When the gastric juices are produced, hydrochloric acid is produced. The HCl converts the pepsinogen into its active form of pepsin. The pepsin breaks down proteins to peptides via hydrolysis. The HCl also converts prorenin into its active form of renin, which coagulates or curdles milk that is consumed. This allows the stomach to digest and absorb milk proteins. Mechanical digestion occurs in the stomach through the contractions of muscles that mixes the food up. Once the food has been digested into a semi-liquid form called chyme, it travels through the pyloric sphincter into the small intestine where the main digestion and absorption occurs.
Chyme enters the first section of the small intestine, the duodenum, which is about 0.3 meters long and responsible for the majority of the digestion of the food. The acidic pH of the chyme activates a hormone produced by the small intestines called secretin, which travels via the bloodstream to the pancreas and triggers the release of bicarbonate ions, which buffer the chyme up to a basic pH of 9. The basic environment deactivates the pepsin into its inactive form, pepsinogen. Once digestion has finished here, the chyme continues on its journey into the jejunum and the ileum. The jejunum, 4 meters, is the second section of the small intestine, and the ileum, 2.5 meters, is the third. That is where all the nutrients, minerals, and vitamins are magically absorbed through the villi. The villi are small finger-like projections that increase the surface area about 10 times for absorption. But that's not all. Microvilli are present on the cell membrane of the villi, and they increase the surface area even more.
The liver is the organ responsible for producing bile, which eliminates toxic substances from the body and mechanically breaks down fat globules, increasing the fat's surface area for chemical digestion, which gets stored in the gallbladder. So how does the body know when to release bile salts from the gallbladder? Well, when the duodenum senses lipids, it triggers the release of a hormone, CCK, which triggers the release of bile salts. From then on, the bile salts enter the duodenum through the common bile duct and then emulsify the lipids, helping chemical digestion by increasing the surface area of fats to lipases.
The pancreas is a whole nother story. Don't ever sell this precious organ even if you were buried 60 feet in crippling debt. The pancreas has a major responsibility of secreting more than 5 different enzymes and secretes the infamous bicarbonate ions that neutralizes chyme, preventing ulcers. The pancreas secretes trypsinogen, which with the help of enterokinase turns into trypsin. Trypsin is vital
The ascending colon is about 2.5 inches in diameter and around 8 inches long. Its innermost layer is composed of mucosa, which secretes mucus and lubricates the food, helping it pass through the tube via peristalsis. By the time the food reaches the large intestines, the process of digestion is already complete. The function of the colon is to store waste long enough so that water can be reabsorbed. Moving right from the ascending colon, the waste goes through the transverse colon and down into the descending colon. At the end of the large intestines, there is a sac called the appendix. It's pretty much useless, so selling it won't make a difference.
The waste moves right from the large intestines into the rectum, which acts as a temporary storage space for feces. When the amount of space exceeds the storage capacity, the rectum sends a signal to the brain which produces the urge to go produce a bowel movement. This is why a diet consisting of fiber and cellulose is important. It produces a bowel movement which ultimately gets rid of the toxic waste within your body. And lastly, the opening at the bottom of your butt, which you may understand it to be the butthole, but it's actually called the anus. The anus is the opening that gets rid of the waste held in the rectum. That was a long journey of food within your body. So now you know which organs are more important than others. To sum it up, the digestive system is the natural phenomenon of food getting absorbed within the body, and also the astonishing process of secreting said waste out of your body.